system. You know, we are not taught in most of our education what working people really do, how they are the ones that build the country. You know, people that are out there working with their hands, people that are doing our buildings, making our clothes, making our automobiles, that are out there on the docks, right, loading all of those ships. You know, students don't really hear about this. They're talking about the Carnegies and the Fords and the Mellons and all of these millionaires, the Rockefellers, but not what working people do. We do not have worker people studies or labor studies on K through 12. And so people come out and they don't know what a union is. This morning after we did our presentation at East Los Angeles College, this young man came up to me and he said, well, why should anybody want to be in a union? What is a union? You know, this is a young Latino. I'm sure that his parents are working people. And you know, when you go to places like Texas or in the South, where they have a right to work, which means right to work for less money, right? Right to work without representation, you know, right to work without any kind of benefits, right? Right to work without being able to negotiate your wages. People there have no clue about what a union is. So the fact that this whole program is being now inducted into the community college level, I think it is just incredible. It is really going to be, and we can say that when people learn what labor is, you know, and it's not just about, and I know those of you that are in your labor studies classes know this, but, you know, it's not just about sitting down and negotiating wages. It's not just about getting better benefits, a health plan, or getting a pension plan, or getting representation on the work site, right? So that you can have your seniority, your grievance procedure, etc. But it's also about getting political representation, getting representation up there in Sacramento, you know, to make sure that our workers' compensation system, which they've gutted, is better so that if people get hurt on the job, they will have some kind of disability, you know, some kind of rehabilitation if they need it. It's also, you know, talking about political representation in the U.S. Congress. Right now, where the labor is trying to pass a bill, a really simple bill that will just give neutrality, so that when, you know, workers are trying to organize into a union, the bosses just won't come down and fire people the way that they do. And so we are at a real crossroads right now in our country, because working people have lost so much in terms of protection. And the only one, and I really do believe this with all my heart, the only way that workers will be able to improve their lives if they belong to a labor organization, right? And I say to students all the time, like when I go to Texas, what is a union? A union is a group of workers that come together to defend themselves. And if we look at the employers, and I compare like with the farm workers, you know, the employers, they have assets, they have money, they have stocks and bonds, but you know what? Oh, they have a formal education, many of them, they get to go to college, but, you know, they belong to a lot of organizations, right? The Chamber of Commerce, like the Growers, Western Growers, California Grape and Tree Fruit League, on and on and on. Every single employer belongs to 5 or 6 different organizations that they pay their dues to. They give money to those organizations. And workers, what do they have? All they have are their hands, right? All they have is their work. So when we ask the question, who needs a union more? The worker or the employer, right? It's obvious that the worker needs the union more.